Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be having a discussion video now that the OCG ban list is out. Let's go ahead and talk about the TCG ban list that is just going to be coming around the corner in just a few days. They should be releasing it because it's going to be taking place in just a few weeks. But as far as the top 3 decks right now in the game, we have the Burning Abyss, we have the SATELLARKNIGHT, and we have the Shaddolls. These are the top 3 decks that have been winning the most tournaments, so this is not something that is biased, this is just something that is just fact. So these are the top 3 decks right now in the game. And in the future, we're going to be having a few more archetypes coming out. We'll have the Star Seraphs, and then we also have the Clifforts, we also have the DEDs. Now, the DEDs as well as the Clifforts rely on a pendulum-based mechanic, and the top 3 decks as of right now, the SATELLARKNIGHTs and the Burning Abyss, they don't exactly do very much against ruining pendulums. Now, the deck that really ruins pendulums is going to be Shaddolls. Shaddolls has access to SINISTER Shadow Games, which actually got put down to 1 in the OCG, which makes it so they cannot pop the pendulum zones, which definitely improve the pendulum deck. So, like I mentioned before, the 2 out of the 3 decks don't really hurt the pendulum mechanic too much, but Shaddolls also have the window, which actually just went down to 1, also in the OCG, so that could potentially happen. But basically, Sinister Shadow Games will probably be more than likely a hit, not only due to the deck already being a strong deck, but it's also going to technically hurt pendulums, and pendulum is going to be the new thing that they're going to be trying to push, so that's just there as a heads up. Also, I feel like Mortal Attack has a huge chance to get hit. Either this or Artifact Sanctum. We already have Mortal Attack 1 in the OCG. This card is just way too strong because, again, going back to the same thought process of it ruins the pendulum mechanic, and that is what is trying to be pushed now on us, because at the moment, you know, the Time Gazer Magician and the Stargazer Magician, no one is really using those to actually win tournaments, so they gotta push it. And also the Odd Eyes, man, I got a few of those I want to get rid of soon. But next up, and I think we've all pretty much agreed on this when I made my previous ban list, like, pre-discussion video. A lot of you guys mentioned Soul Charge, and I completely agree with you. It was already in my video. Soul Charge is not necessarily just bad for the game at multiple, simply because you can activate multiple. You only really need 1 Soul Charge to completely destroy your opponent, because let's say that you go for a blow-up play and you have double XYZs, and you're going to have like something like Black Ship of Corn or 101, a Big Eye. They're going to be able to just get free advantage. The downside of this card doesn't really exist. I mean, you can only activate 1 of them per turn, but the fact that you have to pay some life points, it's there. But the thing is, not being able to attack is not really a problem when you can establish a board that is just too strong with things like Consider Pleiades and, you know, just very powerful cards like Draco Sack. Next up, I feel like a Coach Soldier Wolfbark can go to multiple. Not only did we get a reprint of this, but they reprinted the Fire Fist stuff, and I think that Wolfbark has a huge chance to actually go to 2, even to 3. I mean, there's so many rank 4 decks. I mean, the SATELLARKNIGHTs, they have Searcher at 3. They also technically have a Wolfbark of their own that can be called the Haunted and then get its effect. I think that Wolfbark definitely should be at least minimum 2, if not 3, because like I said, they reprinted everything. It'd be good for the players that are interested in a rank 4 spam deck that can't actually afford something like the SATELLARKNIGHTs. As far as the SATELLARKNIGHTs and Burning Abyss, just real quick, I feel like, well, it depends if we get more support for Burning Abyss. As of right now, I feel like if anything would be hit, if they were trying to hit it, I think Skarm is probably the best card, just because it allows you to get that free extra search, or even Tour Guide, but Tour Guide is just going to be used in the Archfiends, which they are eventually releasing more support down the road. No one has really played with the like the Commander Archfiends. That deck never really took off at all, but it's not like an awful deck. But next up, Dragon Ravine. I think this should definitely come back, because when they reprinted Vajrayana, man, I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, it's sweet. I'm gonna play against a bunch of people that are gonna go first Stardust Dragon, but I never got to play them because Dragon Ravine was banned. That pretty much discourages a lot of players. But in one sense, I'm okay with this because it's a very linear deck, and you know, I'm okay with it banned technically. But the thing is, I think it should at least be at 1. Like, just give them 1 Ravine. I mean, that's all, I mean, technically, if we can recycle it. I mean, or if they get it early on enough, they really only need 1 if they have, like, the right cards. But for the most part, I don't think that it deserves, like, a ban. Especially, like, literally, like, Rapid reprinted Vajrayana, ban Ravine. Next up, Gladiator Beast Bestiari. What does this do in the OCG? Exactly, that's why they put it to 5,000 in the OCG, and no one is doing anything with Gladiator Beast. Although Gladiator Beast did technically recently get some, well, if you want to call it support, I guess, but Gladiator Beast, I think they've just seen their day. But, you know, it'll at least make some players like, oh sweet, Bestiari, I'm gonna play Glads now, and then you're gonna totally get wrecked because the deck is just way too slow to compete in the game. Next up, Stratos, just to even push heroes harder, because we have Shadow Mist coming out into the game, we have all those mass changes. I feel like this is just gonna really push heroes really hard when they go, oh guys, Stratos is now back. I don't know why we banned him, but slow charge is at 3, right? But yeah, that's my thoughts. I think Stratos definitely should come back into the game. You honestly don't even really need it. I prefer to go Summoner Monk into Shadow Mist to search out a card later on, just like let it sit there as a floater anyways, and you already get a free plus anyways. From Shadow Mist. So I feel like you don't really need this card, but it'll definitely push heroes, because there is a hero structure deck eventually that's going to come out into the TCG as well. Next up, as far as Infernity goes, Infernity Launcher or Archfiend, just because it technically won this year, pretty much whatever wins that you, usually something gets hit in that deck, and I feel like in the Infernity deck, Launcher or an Archfiend will probably be the thing to actually hit. I think it's the most appropriate. Next up, I feel like the tool should be limited to 1. I mean, you can already have 3 cards that searches it out, and like a bunch of stuff already searches this card out, and if you already open up with it, you're already set up to go. But if you don't, you have so many cards already to search it out. I just feel like you should, once you get rid of one tool, you shouldn't have to deal with it anymore. It's kind of like how I feel with Sheehan. Like, once you get rid of Sheehan, you shouldn't have to deal with more. The card was annoying. I know Sheehan's not really like a viable card this format, but nonetheless, I just think it should be at 1. I don't think this will happen, but you know, I just figured I'd mention it. Next up, Blackwing, Gale the Whirlwind went to 2 in the OCG. I could see it easily going to 2. I don't think it's gonna like hugely impact the game at all. But I think these 2 next cards will definitely impact the game, especially since pendulums are going to be a thing. I think we need Torrential Tribute. We need Bottomless Trap Hole at multiple, just because with the Pole Pendulum mechanic coming out, when your opponent swarms board, it'd be nice to have, you know, multiple answers. I know we have 1 Torrential, we have 1 Bottomless, but it'd be nice to be able to punish those players that don't actually set up, whether it's they don't have a Trap Stun that's face down or a Wire Tap. It needs another card face down, or like even my Body Shield, just something to actually make their play more secure, rather than them just going all out and then you only have, you know, 1 copy of this, and let's say you just don't happen to draw that card. As far as things that are banned that come back into the game, these are already actually legal in the TCG. I mean, sorry, the OCG, which is Dark Strike Fighter and Trishula. I think out of anything that's in the banned area, these 2 could definitely come back. I don't want this card to come back, but I feel like I kind of should mention it, because the Star Seraphs, I mean, basically it's a rank 4 spam deck that make things that require multiple level 4 monsters rather than just, you know, 2. So Shockmaster could be a contender to come back into the game. I really don't think this card is great for the game, because it has that blow up factor. If I make this card first turn, and you automatically lose the game, which I really don't like. The next 3 cards I think can definitely make a great impact on the game, whether you are, you know, playing meta or non-meta. These cards are just really good. Pot of Avarice, such a fantastic card. It'll definitely boost up Shadal's, it'll boost up SATELLARKNIGHT, it'll boost up basically everything that's meta or non-meta. Some players think that this card's way too good. We already have Pot of Dichotomy in the OCG. Players don't really play that card because they have Pot of Avarice, so I mean, you can look at it in one sense that Dichotomy was kind of the replacement of Pot of Avarice anyways, which technically saw some play in the TCG. Some players did actually run it, but for the most part, Pot of Avarice is just much better than the other card. Heavy Storm has a contender to come back because it's been in the OCG for a while, and I feel like against pendulums, it'd be nice to have someone they establish their pendulum board. And if they don't like finish you off, maybe you battle fate or you survive somehow, you're at low life points, you can at least Heavy Storm into make a board into get rid of their monsters, and they can't just re-special summon everything the next turn. So I think this would be a great card for the game, not only to punish the players that overextend, but also you don't have to deal with that, you know, multiple back row at certain times, and you're just like, oh, this is not a very fun game. And also, I don't really like dealing with vanities plus more back row. It's just like, oh no. And one card that I think that definitely should be at least 2, because no one's really playing normal monsters, it's just not viable anymore in the game, is Rescue Rabbit. Now, I don't really like the mechanic of making Rescue Rabbit into a stun card in the game, but I like the aspect of running normal monsters in a sense, because it's just kind of cool to see people play normal monsters in the game. But I mean, I think Dolka is still a fantastic card. I don't know if this will increase people's playstyle to play more. Well, I guess you can play Dino Rabbit again if it's at 2, and people still love that deck. I mean, who hasn't had all the normals in their like common box by now? But Rescue Rabbit is at 3, I believe, in the OCG, so Ophion is still a thing. I just don't really like dealing with Ophion. I don't like the shutdown mechanic, but that's, you know, just my personal bias towards the game. But I mean, I think it could definitely go down, or go up to 2, or even 3. 3 might be a little questionable, but yeah, at multiple, like 3 can come kind of nasty if you're playing against like Evil Storm, because then you're again in that same situation where you just can't play the game. For my last card, the card that you know, definitely has a small chance, I'm just saying it because I like to throw out that weird random wild card, Sinister Serpent, back down to 1. Like just as a random, like why not just see what happens. I know it can open up a lot of stupid things with like water. I know it can open up a lot of stupid things with Phoenix Wing and Wind Blast, or anything that just like discard a card and then you can activate this really good card. But I feel like there has to be some wild card at the very end of every of my ban list discussion videos because I think it's just fun. But anyways, if you disagree with me, hey, definitely let me know why, and if you think anything should be added or removed from this list, I'd love to know your thoughts. But the ban list is just going to be released in just a few more weeks, guys, and I'm so ready to play the new format and hopefully won't get wrecked by Cliffos. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Nice signing out.